So part of the operations management and the strategic management, when they make big decisions on big projects, they use this to plan out their activities. For example, let's say you were going to bake a cake, okay? And you've got multiple tasks to do, okay? Let's list down some simple tasks that you need to do for the cake. So one, you have to get the ingredients, buy the ingredients, then mix you have to weigh them first. So weigh the ingredients. Number 3, add dry ingredients together. Have you ever baked a cake?
I think once.
Yeah. Are these steps familiar to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So add wet ingredients together, add and prepare them, whisk them, blah, blah, blah. 5, mix. 6, preheat the oven. 7, I was just thinking that we can add one more thing. Whisk egg and sugar. 7, mix all. 8, oven. 9, cool down. 10, prepare frosting. 11, frost. 12, serve. So many steps. Wow. Never gonna bake a cake now. Okay. Look at these. Okay. Are there any activities that we can do simultaneously? We buy the ingredients. That has to be done the very first, right? So this is like the first thing that has to be done, right?
Yeah.
So this is our activity 1. How long do you think this takes? Let's talk about it in hours. How long does it take?
Probably just one.
1 hour? Okay. So 1 hour, okay. How long does it take to weigh the ingredients?
10 minutes?
How, 30 minutes?
Yeah,
15 minutes?
half an hour.
Okay, 0.30, okay. Or let's talk in minutes, right? Instead of that. So we do minutes. So 60 minutes to get the ingredients, 30 minutes to do this. Add the dry ingredients together. How long does that take? And remember, you are sifting the dough, the flour.
Sorry, miss?
So how long do you think the dry ingredients put together? So baking powder, flour, salt. How long?
5?
5 minutes? Wow, I would have taken 15 because I really want to sift my flour, you know? But okay. Now you're adding the wet ingredients together. Now I want you to, while we're discussing this, I want you to tell me if there is an activity that we can do, like 2 of them together, like back to back or simultaneously. Imagine you have some help with you, okay? So add wet ingredients together, whisk egg and sugar. Do you think we can do this simultaneously?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's one part of the critical part that talks about the time. The other one talks about which activity needs to be done before the next one. Okay, so that is called a preceding activity. Okay, you cannot proceed before that particular task is done, right? So if you see, we cannot proceed until we buy the ingredients, right?
Yeah.
So we have to, let's say, write them in alphabets. So I'm going to write them in alphabets because that's how we do it there. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and L. So there is nothing being followed on. So A can be done on its own. We don't need to wait for anything to begin A. To begin B, do we need to wait for anything? Any particular activity? Yes, we need to buy the ingredients first, right? So
Yeah.
B cannot be done until A is done. So the preceding activity for B is A. Does that make sense? You have to complete A, which means buy ingredients, before you weigh them, right?
Yeah.
Makes logical sense, right?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Next, you add the dry ingredients together. Um, this activity, um does this need to be done before B, or can it be done with B or before B?
After beer.
Absolutely, yes, because first you will weigh them, then you will add them together, right? So the B has to be done before C, right? Let me highlight this. Okay, activity B must be done, and only then C can be completed. Yes, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
B. Okay. After that, let's see. Add the wet ingredients together. How long do you think does it take to add the wet ingredients together?
Is it
You
5 minutes?
put yeah,
5 minutes also?
5 minutes. Okay. So you're putting egg, oil, vanilla extract. I think that's it. So 5 minutes. Okay. And do we need to wait to do this part to start this one?
Sometimes. Wait, you talk about
Mm,
part D, right?
yeah,
It's
you're
part.
done with B. But now, do you think you can, like, there is a helper? One person is, and there are two bowls. One person can do the flour and dough and do the dry ingredients. The other person can do the wet ingredients as well together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can be done simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about E? What if we have the third person whisking egg and sugar together? Do you think we need to wait for this or this to happen to do this? I think we can do all these three activities together simultaneously, right?
Yeah, we can.
So once we have weighed this, we can do all of these three activities together, right?
Yes, miss.
But can we do the wet ingredients or the whisk the egg together before weighing them?
No.
So the preceding activity for D as well as E will be B. So once B is complete, we can do this, this, and this. Is that making sense?
Yes, miss.
Okay. It's making sense, right? Logically, it's all making sense. You're getting it so far? Yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, how long does it take to whisk the eggs? Two
So,
minutes?
yeah, 2 or 3.
Okay, so 2 minutes here. Now, while we have we're mixing, do we need to now wait for, okay, so now we have to preheat the oven, okay? Um, how long does the oven need to be preheated?
Yes, I don't know that. Is it half an hour? Like,
I think it should be about 15 minutes. The oven needs to be preheated at 15 minutes, okay?
okay.
And if you do it for too long, it's going to, be too hot and the cake might burn. So we cannot do it here. So I think we should wait until we finish whisking the wet ingredients together and then put it on preheat. So I think we can wait for activity G. Wait, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fix this because I wrote it. Let's mix them first and then preheat the oven.
Okay.
Mix all, preheat oven, and then we say bake. Okay? So when we mix it all, I think it'll take 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So we mix them all together, but do we need to wait for activity F to mix them all? Do we need to wait for anything else to happen before that?
No.
Mm,
Oh, the preheat
we have
oven?
to, yes, we have to make sure that we complete C before F. We have to make sure we complete D before F and E before F. Why? Because what else are we going to mix? Is this making sense? Like you have to make sure you complete this, this, and this to mix it all together, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to be like a little baby mixing air and empty bowl. You're going to mix the ingredients, of course, right? So you
Yeah.
have to make sure that all your dry ingredients are in one bowl assembled and all your wet ingredients are assembled along with egg and sugar in it. And then those two bowls are ready. And then you mix them all together in one bowl. So you cannot do activity F you cannot do activity F without completing C, D, and E. Does that make sense?
Yes, sense.
Okay. So what are the preceding activities for activity F? It's three of them. Cannot be done before C is done, before D is done, and before E is done. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Then what do we have? Then we can put our oven on preheat. Yes?
Yeah.
We need to preheat the oven for 15 minutes. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think we can put our oven on preheat while, let's say we're mixing?
Yeah.
Yeah, or let's just keep it simple, not complicated. We will preheat the oven after activity F. Let's do that. Okay?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
while we're mixing and all that, we will preheat the oven after activity F, and meanwhile we're just gonna sit and have a nice cup of hot chocolate because we need to rest. Okay, so cannot be done before activity F. Okay, so the preceding activity for G is F. Making sense?
Yes, yes.
Now let's see. Now we are going to bake. Can we, how long, okay, so how long does the cake stay in the oven? Any idea?
20 minutes? I think.
What cake are you baking?
I don't know.
About 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 45 minutes to bake the cake. Can we bake the cake before anything, let's say preheating the oven?
No.
No. So what is the preceding activity for activity H?
G.
Very good. Good. Now we have to cool it down for at least 15 minutes. Okay. Business class has turned into baking class. Okay. So we are letting it cool down for 15 minutes. Do we need to wait for any activity before we do activity I?
Activity H, right?
Yes, very good. Of course, we're going to bake first and then we're going to cool down, right?
Yeah.
Now, while we're waiting for cooling down, do you think we can simultaneously do another activity, which
Yeah.
is the next one?
Okay. We can prepare it.
Yeah, preparing the frosting can be done while maybe we're baking, right? So while because preparing the frosting will like you have to put it in the fridge and everything as well, so it needs to be cold. So I think we should start making our frosting while things are in the oven. So let's say preparing the frosting takes about 40 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So you're mixing icing, sugar, and cream and then whipping it. That will take about 15 to 20 minutes. And then you're going to put it in the fridge for it to be super cold, right? So that needs to stay there for 20 minutes at least, right? So let's hypothetically say the frosting takes 40 minutes. Do you think I can prepare my frosting while the cake is in the oven.
Yeah.
So we know that activity H and activity J, they can be both simultaneously be done together, right?
Yeah.
So can you identify the preceding activity for J, after which activity ends and my assistant starts making the frosting while I put the cake in the oven?
Okay.
H or G? What did you say? I couldn't hear you.
The H.
H. But
And I?
okay. Uh-uh.
No?
I think if look, while preheating is done, Bob is putting the cake in the oven and Tim is preparing the frosting. These both activities are happening simultaneously, and both of these activities cannot be done, or you could say, are will be started once G is complete.
Yeah.
Making sense?
Yeah.
So the preceding activity for J is also G. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Did that make sense?
Yes, miss.
Okay. I'm just gonna try and eliminate one step because it's getting too long. Okay. Then you frost. Frosting takes what, 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
10. Yeah.
Can we do frosting, or do we need to complete a specific task before finishing the frosting? Doing the frosting?
Yeah, this is J.
So my preceding activity for K is J.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yes, miss.
So this is the kind of table that will be given to you. Okay. You won't have to make this table. Okay. But you will need to know how the table works. Okay. Because you will be using this table to draw the critical path. Okay.
Oh,
So understanding what a preceding activity is and what comes before, what comes after, the duration and everything, you need to know that. That's important. So far, so good. Do we understand?
yes, miss.
Okay. Now look. Okay. Let's see. Now comes now he let's put this aside and refresh our minds. We're doing something related to this, but let's explain some important things to you. Now, you learned in in nursery, what shape is this?
Circle?
It's a circle.
Yeah.
But now, from now on, we're going to call it a node. Okay? Why are
Okay.
we calling it a node? Because it's a little bit different. We're going to add some lines in it. Okay? You draw a line down and then a vertical line. This is now not a circle anymore because now you're a business student. This is called a node. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Your node is a circle and it represents the starting point of an activity. Okay? Or when it is finished. Okay? When so I will explain the numbers part to you later. Okay, let me just tell you what a node is first. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it might get a bit complicated for you then. After a node, you are always going to draw a line coming out of this place. Okay, like this. This line is going to show the duration. You know the time we wrote over here? This minutes,
Yeah.
this is your duration of activities. Okay?
Okay.
This line coming out of that node is your duration. Okay? Okay. And how do you represent your duration? On the top, you are going to write the alphabet of your activity. So let's say this is activity B. This is activity B. And and how long does it take to do the particular activity? Let's say activity B took 30 minutes. So I write the number 30 at the bottom, and that will represent my duration. Okay?
Yeah.
So every time you draw a node, you will not, you are going to basically draw a line after it. Okay?
Okay.
Understood? Now we're going to use this particular table and we're going to draw a critical path. Okay? Um, I'm gonna try and move this thing here. Okay, I don't understand this thing. It's doing this itself. Okay. Over here. Okay. Do you have a class after this? Is it okay if I teach you for a little extra time?
Yeah, miss, that's okay.
Hmm. Now look. Now I'm drawing my very first node to show that my activity has started. You are always going to have a start node and an end node. So in the beginning, you are going to draw the very first node, your circle, and you're going to draw these lines like this. I will tell you what these lines mean. Okay? And we are always going to number our nodes. So this is number 1. Okay? Now, this is number 1. This is my start node. What is my very first activity?
Buy the ingredients.
Buy my ingredients, right? So to buy my ingredients, I'm going to draw this green line that I talked about, and I'm going to write the alphabet, the activity, and the duration. So activity A up here, and how long does it take to do this activity?
60 minutes.
60 minutes. And because there is no preceding activity, that is the reason why it is coming out of the start node. Yes?
Yeah.
If my activity B also had like a dash in front of it, I would also make a line here and write B over here and write a number here. But right now, only activity A has no preceding activity. It has a dash in front of it. That's why it is the only activity coming out of the start node. Does that make sense?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Now activity A is identified. It's out of the first start node. Done. Now let's see. Now we have activity B. Um, a lot of students, they make a mistake. What do? They make the start node, they write the activity, and then they make a note after this, and and then they're like, what to do? Never do this. Until you know what's coming next, don't draw a node. Okay? Look at the next node first. Look at the next activity first. Now, activity B cannot be started if we do not finish activity A. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this means activity A has to be completed. So B will be after activity A. Yeah. So we will draw a start node for activity B now. So we make a node and we are going to number it the way we are going to number. Okay, there we go. And we're going to write the number 2 here. And we're going to draw our activity and duration line for activity B. So activity B comes here, and how long is it taking to do the activity?
30 minutes.
So I'm gonna write number 30 here. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now look, this is done. We're taking this off. Now see. Mm, oh, okay. Now let's look at activity C. Activity C, add dry ingredients together. Then activity D and E. So have to draw another node because we have activity C, D, and E after activity B. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so put this here. Now I'm gonna draw my line. I'm gonna write my number. Do you see how I'm always following the same steps? If you don't follow the same steps, you are bound to make a mistake. So do everything step by step the way I'm doing it. Okay? Be very, very careful. Don't do something before the other. Just follow the same steps like you're in the army. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so look. So activity, now I'm going to draw 3 lines. Why? Because 3 activities are going to be started after activity B. Yes? So I'm going
Yeah.
to draw lines like this. So this is up and like this. Then one line here and then another line here. Okay? If this is,
Yeah.
in fact, let's do it step by step. So line number 1, and let's see. Activity C, I'm going to write C here. What is the duration for C?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. This is done. Okay? This was not the same color. So C and 5. Then let's look at activity D. I'm going to draw a line for activity D. Then I'm going to write D here. And how long is activity D?
Also 5 minutes.
Also 5 minutes. And then I'm going to draw a line for activity E. How long is activity E?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Do you see how
Yeah.
from the B node? So once activity B is done, activity C, D, and E are starting. Make sense?
Yeah.
And I am not drawing every time I finish a line. I'm not drawing nodes here. This is going to be wrong. This is wrong. Never, ever, ever draw a node until you know what's coming next, because sometimes it's very different. Okay.
Uh,
Now let's see which activity is next.
F.
Activity F. Activity F cannot be done if C, D, and E are not completed. Make sense?
Yeah.
So to show this, and now I need to show my activity F. So I'm going to draw a node for activity F over here. And how am I going to show that activity F is going, so this is activity F. I'm drawing the line for F. I'm writing the alphabet F. And how long is activity F? How long are we taking for that? 2 minutes. Yes.
Yeah.
How do I show that F cannot be completed until C, D, and E are done? This is how I'm going to do. So connect this line here, and this line here. Make sense?
Yeah.
So F cannot be completed until activity C, D, and E is done. Okay, I'm breaking my own rules. I should have made this first. Clear so far?
Yes, miss.
So I'm taking this off. Now let's look at H. H, oh no, sorry, G. Where is G? G cannot be done until F is done. So after activity F, I need to draw a node. I need to show activity G. Okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write G here. G is for 15 minutes. I'm gonna draw my lines here. I'm gonna write at number 5 here. I'm stopping now. You're gonna tell me what to do next. What do I do next?
You draw another node and then you make 2 for the other 2 activities, which is H and J.
Okay, so I'm drawing the node. I'm doing exactly what you're telling me. I'm drawing the node over here. Okay.
And the line.
Okay, yes. Number 6, the line. Okay. You want me to draw the line here?
No, it's like two, like one on top, one down.
Okay. So like this and
Yeah.
like this. Yes. Okay. Now what do I do?
And then in the top one, you write activity I for 45.
What comes after G?
Oh, sorry, H,
H and
45.
uh-huh.
And then
Then
below you write I for 15.
mm-hmm. Okay. Then what do I do?
And then you connect those to another node. Well, first you draw another node and then you connect it.
Okay. Why am I making a node to show another activity?
Yeah.
Okay. So there we are. And I'm drawing this and I'm writing number 7 here. And
Yeah.
then
You
I'm
connect
connecting them. And then what am I doing now?
activity J, so you draw another line and you put activity J
Okay.
and then under 40.
Activity J here and 14 here.
40,
Okay.
40.
40, sorry.
Uh,
40. I'm just doing what you're saying. That's it. Okay.
This isn't
Then,
right.
yeah, I think it's right. I'm not looking. Looks
Oh,
right so far.
and then um,
Activity J is done. Okay,
okay.
this was my last activity, right?
No, so that's a K.
Okay, we have K as well. So what do I do now?
You draw another node.
Okay, I will draw a node here. Now what do I do?
You put the 8 like after drawing the line.
Hmm. Number 8. Now what do I do?
You put a line and then you write K and then I don't know the time.
Okay, and how long is it? 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Does this look right? Like, how does it end? It just ends like boom on a line.
Do you have to put another node to or no?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
To show that everything has ended.
Okay.
This is called your start end node. Whoa, what happened? Some very, really weird stuff is happening. 1 second. Okay. So this is my end node. K is ended here. And this is 10. So it took 10 steps to
Oh,
complete my
9.
task. Yeah?
Miss 9, right?
Oh, 9, sorry. God, critical paths made you forget alphabets and me numbers. Okay?
Yeah.
Not that I was ever good at numbers, but this is how you draw it. Make sense?
Yes, miss.
Did it make sense? What is this difficult?
No, it's not.
Okay, very nice. Let's make it difficult then. Now comes a little bit tiny bit tricky part, but again, it won't be that difficult. It won't be as difficult if we follow the thing. Part is you follow the steps. The minute you go a little bit off track with the steps, you're gonna mess the whole thing up. Okay. Now, why do we have these funny middle lines on a node? Let's see. So we see that this is a node, right? This is my node. Okay. And this particular node that I have here, the top part, do you see this top part? This part is going to have a number which is going to show the earliest I can start my activity. So it is called the EST, which stands for earliest start time. Okay. And The bottom node shows the LFT, the latest I can finish this task. So this one shows how much can I delay my task, basically. So this is my latest finish time. It might sound a bit tricky right now, but it's so easy to calculate. Look. Okay, so always, 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 your start node will have the number 0 on the top. So number 1 node will always have a 0 on the top as its earliest start time. Why? Because you don't need to wait for anything to finish in order for you to start your first activity. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Unless it involves getting pocket money from dad, but that's something. So,
Yeah.
how do I calculate my earliest start time? As I'm going forward, I'm just going to add the numbers. So 0 plus 60 is 60, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to write the number 60 on my next node here. Make sense?
Yeah.
And then the next node, 60 plus 30 is
90.
90. Did that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So all the ESTs are going to add up to the next number that you see on the duration line and add them together. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now, which number should I put over here? Because I have three durations here, right? That's difficult to. How do I figure that out? You are going to take the biggest number when you're going forward. Which is the biggest number?
5.
5, 5, and 2. So we have 5 as the biggest number. Let's say if this was 4, hypothetically speaking, so you would have taken D,
Yeah.
5, right? Why do we do this? Let's talk about that. What happened here? Uh-oh. What's going on?
And
Okay, wait. Weird things are happening. Just 1 second. There's some ghost or something. Wait. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be very patient with what just happened. 1 second. Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna fix this whole thing.
okay.
Yeah, we fixed this. Okay, this was EST and that was LFT. Earliest start time. And the bottom was called what?
Late
Latest.
start.
Uh-huh. Finish time. Very good. EST and LFT. And how are we calculating? Okay, it's good this happened. I'm gonna ask you now. What do I do?
The start one you said always starts at a 0.
Very good. Then,
And then you add them, so it'll be 0 plus 60, it'll be 60.
mm-hmm,
And then 60 plus 30 is 90.
mm-hmm,
And then you choose the highest one, so it'll be 90 plus 5, which is 95.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I was telling you, why did I take the biggest number? Because, let me tell you, by the time, so we're taking 5 minutes to finish activity C and D. The reason why we're not taking the number 2 is because if I take the number 2 and be like, okay, so in 2 minutes, I'm done mixing the eggs, right? And I'm going forward. But then activity C and D, so Bob and Tim, they'll be like, hey, 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 wait for me. I'm not done yet. I'm not done mixing the wet ingredients and I'm not done mixing the dry ingredients. And Harry will be like, hey, listen, I am done whisking the eggs. I don't care about you. And I'm just going to go forward. We cannot do this activity until Bob and Tim are done. So we have to make sure that the longest activities, because they will take time. So once Harry is done with his task for 2 minutes, he's going to sit back and chill for 3 minutes and wait for Bob and Tim to finish the task. So this activity can be delayed. He can have tea before he starts his task, or he can have it after, whatever is his choice. But Bob and Tim, their tasks will take 5 minutes. So we have to give them the full time to complete their task. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we take the biggest number when we're going forward. Yes?
Okay.
So activity C and D are the important ones and have to be done. Now let's move forward. 95 and then
97.
okay, 97. Then
Then 112.
112. By now I have stopped using my brain because you better pull out a calculator because I'm
I
not
do
doing this
that.
mentally. Okay, now which number do I pick?
You
H
pick
or I?
the activity H. So it's
H, because
157.
it's the biggest. So what's the number?
157.
157. Okay. Then
And then it's 197.
197,
And then 207.
200 and
7.
okay. These are my earliest start time. These are my ESTs calculated, done, finished. Clear so far?
Yeah.
Now, how do I calculate my LFTs? You are going to copy the same number exactly down. It's going to be the same number. You just copy it down in your finish node. So you're going to write 207 again and start coming backwards. 207 minus. Now you're coming minus. Going forward, you are adding. Coming back, you are going to minus it, subtracting.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So 207 minus 10?
197.
197. 197 minus 40?
157.
157. Again, biggest number, 157 minus which number?
45.
45. So answer is 112.
Yeah.
112. Coming back, 112 minus 15.
97.
97 minus 2.
95.
95. Coming back, biggest number.
90.
90. And 90 minus 30.
60.
60 minus 60.
0.
0. If your answer is not a 0, 0, what is going on? Oh my God. You know what? I am so done with this device. I swear all the numbers are gone now. What happened? What was that? Seriously. Oh God. Okay. I'm so sorry. We're going to do this really quickly again. Okay.
Okay.
Quickly tell me the numbers. Okay. We're just going to be very patient. I don't know what's going on today. That's so weird. Okay. Okay. So 0 plus 60 is 60, 90. Then what was it? 90 plus 95,
90.
97. Then,
And 112.
uh-huh.
Hold on.
Yeah, yeah, go on.
157.
157. Hold on. 157.
Yeah. Then 197. And then 200.
Uh-huh. Then 207, right?
Yeah.
Okay. God. Seriously, come on. And even the labels of ESTs, LFTs are gone now. Come on. Then we copy it back down. 207.
Yeah.
Coming back. 197. 157. 112. 97. 95.
Yeah.
90. 60 and 0. So what I was telling you is as soon as you get a 0 at the bottom, it shows that you have done the whole. Oh my God. it shows that you have done the whole critical path correct. Make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do this again. I'm not gonna do this again. It's really good.
It's okay, Miss, I get it.
Okay, but the class was recording, so you can watch the recording later on. So do you get the numbers and everything again? Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. What is one more thing? The only reason why I really need to put those numbers back is to show you, look, all the activities that you chose while doing the calculations going forward, they are your critical path. Those are the activities that cannot be delayed. Okay, all the activities that we chose going forward. Okay, so I remember we chose A, B, and let's say from C, D, and E, we chose the biggest number, which was 5. So we chose C and D to go forward. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
So to go forward, whichever activities you're choosing to do your final number, that activity is your critical path. Okay, so how do you show on the diagram what's your critical path? You draw these two lines sideways like this. Okay, let's draw them here. 1 second. I'm trying to choose the right color here. So this we chose for sure. We took activity B. For that, we took C and D. Then, did we choose F? Yes, F, G, and then which one did we choose to go forward? H or I?
Miss, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Oh.
you.
So the I said hate.
H, yes. Okay, moving forward, J and K.
Yeah.
Yes, so these were my critical activities. So if in the exam they will ask you the question, what is the critical path? You're gonna say A, B, C, D, F, G, H, J, and K. All of these activities are your critical path. What do we mean by critical path? These activities cannot be delayed. Okay, so which one is not, and which activities are not so important and can be delayed? They are important, but they can be delayed. Activity
I and E.
E and I, they can be delayed. You know, the person who's doing activity E and I, they can chill and sit back. Not a big deal for them.
Okay.
Okay, and that's it. This is your critical path analysis. How difficult? From 1 to 10.
Oh.
2?
Yeah.
The first ever student to say that. Okay, very nice. This is it. Okay. There are of course advantages and disadvantages of them. Okay, I'm gonna send this to you, and I'm gonna give you a handout for the whole thing. Okay.
Okay.
Let me send this to you.
You said people like confuse decision trees with this. What's decision tree?
Decision tree, you also have to draw something like this. But
It's not the
yeah,
same?
I'm gonna do decision trees with you on Monday.
Okay.
Okay, so till then, I want you to like study critical path super deep analysis, etc., etc.
Uh,
Um, I'm gonna give you a critical path for homework. Now, this critical path was a baking critical path. Um, but for business, of course, it's going to be a factory manufacturing related critical path. Okay, so
okay.
I want you to use that and draw your own critical path. Okay, the handout that I'm giving you is an Excel notes, but just go towards the last two. In fact, they're all useful for you because they're part of your syllabus as well. But it has sales forecasting, investment appraisal, decision trees, and critical paths together. So just look at the critical path for now. And on Monday, when I'm done with decision trees, you can go over decision trees from there. Make sense?
Yes, miss.
Okay, and I'm definitely giving you